Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. Yesterday, Bitcoin dropped quite a lot, and during that time, I was giving you multiple updates every single hour. So if you want access to these things, make sure to check out the membership. And yeah, let's talk about what happened yesterday. So obviously, if you look at the charts, we had a big drop. Bitcoin dropped from about $99,000 all the way down to like $82,000. And I did talk about this scenario multiple times in my previous couple of videos. I did tell you that it is possible to test the bull market support band. As you can see, we tested it and we got below it. And yeah, right now we are in a fourth wave, which means that at some point we will still need a fifth wave move up. And yeah, the low could be in. As you can see, the price is reacting to the support zone and it's looking very good right now. However, we still need a break above the bull market support band, to be able to confirm that at least something more bullish is going on. And yes, I will talk about Cardano, but first I want you to know what's happening with Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin does not go up and if Bitcoin just goes sideways or down for the next couple of weeks, then Cardano will most likely do the exact same thing. Now, there is a chance that the altcoin season starts this month, well, at the end of this month, which is right now, and that's because that's when it started in 2017, but you also have to, know that at this point, we don't really have to start it, because in the previous cycle, for example, in 2021, the altcoin season started at the end of March, so it's really hard to say what will happen next, but it is a possibility that we just go sideways until the end of March. I talked about this many times already, and yeah, until then, Bitcoin could literally stay below the bull market support band. Now, I don't really want to see that, and honestly, I want to see a break back above it very soon, because usually Bitcoin does not stay below the bull market support bands during the post-halving year for too long, so I don't really want to see a much bigger correction. If you look at the RSI, the RSI just got to the oversold territory, and I talked about this on my Discord server, and also I think I mentioned this in my previous video. The RSI getting oversold on the daily chart is actually very bullish. The last time we got oversold on the daily was down here when Bitcoin was at like $49,000. Right here we were at about $82,000 and we are already starting to bounce. So I think we will continue going up for the next couple of weeks. Maybe that's not gonna be the case. Maybe we'll just keep going down. I highly doubt that. And yeah, the support zone is being respected, but like I said, we need a break back above the bull market support band. And if we do get another low, we should not really break below the 50% extension. This is the last, zone where we should get to, because if we get to the 0.618, it's going to be very questionable if we are actually still in a bull market. And usually Bitcoin does not really drop this much in the post-halving year, especially not in February. Now, if you look at what happened in 2017, we actually had a drop. Well, actually before that, look at what happened in 2021 after Bitcoin dominance stopped. We had a drop on the Bitcoin chart. So maybe this means that Bitcoin dominance has stopped in this cycle, because we just had another top right here, and this happened at the beginning of February. And last cycle, after Bitcoin dominance stopped right here, it went down for a couple of weeks, and during that time Bitcoin was also going down. So maybe this is where we're at right now. And also I was talking about the 2017 cycle. If you look at what was happening with Bitcoin in 2017, we also had a correction during this time, and I talked about this already many times. Let me actually find it. Yeah, so this correction actually happened at the beginning of March, and as you can see, after that, we tested the bull market support band. We actually had a wick below it, but I think the weekly chart closed above it, so that's good. And then after that, that's when Bitcoin started going up again. And keep in mind, if we want the altcoin season, Bitcoin still has to go up during that time. Bitcoin cannot go sideways. That's not how the altcoin season works. If we want the altcoin season to actually start, we need Bitcoin to go up, because the altcoins need to start outperforming Bitcoin. Of course, that could happen to the way to the downside, but we don't really want to see that, because let's say Bitcoin drops like 75k, for example. If Bitcoin dominance goes down during that time, that only means that the altcoins will not drop as much as Bitcoin, and that's not really bullish. We want the altcoins to outperform Bitcoin when it's going up, not when it's going down. So yeah, I don't really want to see that right now. And keep in mind, even if we look at the 4-hour RSI on the Bitcoin chart, we got to the oversold territory multiple times, and we have not been this oversold for a very long time now, since this low right here. So this could be extremely bullish news, and you have to keep in mind that after this drop right here, it took a couple of days to actually get back above this high. Well, actually it took almost a couple of months to get above this high. and I mean during that time we also just had a cross in the bull market support band, so maybe this is what we are doing, and maybe Bitcoin will just go sideways until the end of March, and then it will finally wake up, and that's when Cardano and the other altcoins will also wake up. Now let's talk about Cardano, and Cardano did not really do anything yesterday. It just, got another low right here. We went to this 50% extension again, and we seem to have a triple bottom right now, which is very interesting. Now keep in mind, there is still the chance for Cardano to drop to this low right here and get some kind of double bottom. I've been talking about this scenario for many weeks now, but you also have to know that Cardano got to the oversold territory on the 4-hour chart. However, if you look at the daily chart, and this is what tells me that we might get another low, if you look right here, we did not really get to the oversold territory when we went down here, so there is a chance that we just get another low. Maybe we get to the 0.786 and not get a double bottom. Even if we only do that, I mean, that should still put us at about 56 cents or so, and that should get us to the oversold territory on the 4-hour, well, no, the daily RSI. So yeah, after that we could bounce, but I mean, we don't have any kind of 1-2 setup on the chart right now, so I cannot really confirm anything. Now my prediction stays the exact same for Cardano. I still think that it will, top right here in the third wave by the end of May, and if this move to the upside does not start by the end of March, then you have to start panicking, in my opinion, because it kind of has to start if we actually want this to finish. And let's say we don't get this, let's say we just go sideways until May. Well, if that happens, it's going to be the most bearish thing in the world, and let me explain why. As you know from my previous Bitcoin videos, or maybe you do not watch them, every single summer in the post-halving year, Bitcoin drops quite a lot. I mean, here in 2021, we dropped from like 62k all the way down to like 29k. In 2017, we did a similar thing. We dropped from like $3,000 all the way down to like $1,800. In 2013, it's the exact same thing again. We dropped from $260 all the way down to like $63. So we always have a correction during the summer, and if the same thing happens in this cycle and the altcoins are not at all-time highs by the end of, May, then this could be extremely bad news, and I mean, some other altcoins could even get new bear market lows if they are not near all-time highs by the end of May, because I think the summer drop will happen, and if it does happen, the altcoins, like I said, should already be at all-time highs before that, because if they are not, it's going to be bad, and trust me, you do not really want to be around for that. If you think this is bad right here, I mean, just wait for the summer drop, because the summer, is not messing around, and it's definitely, not the best time to be in crypto, and I know many people will start panicking during that time, because they always do. I mean, they started panicking when Cardano was going down over here, and they started panicking when it was going down, over here as well. And I mean, they were right to panic, because this was the beginning of the bear market. And I still think Cardano will top actually at the end of the year. Now, like I said, there's the potential that we only get a top in this cycle, and you have to keep in mind that in the previous cycle, well, from this top to this top, it took about 1,337 days. And if we do the exact same thing again, I mean, Cardano could get a top by, let's say, the end of April. And I know that sounds absurd, but Cardano could literally be at about $5 by then. And I know I've said similar things in the past. I think I called for Cardano to be at $1.80 by the end of February, and that has obviously not happened, but that's only because it did not go up on its own like it did in the previous cycle. So even though it was a wrong call, I still think that's not bearish, because I still think that move will happen. Doesn't matter if it did not happen this month, it will still happen very soon, in my opinion, and it's only a matter of time until it does. Now keep in mind, if we actually want that move, we need to form 5 waves up right now, and yeah, we don't really have anything. We have a 1-2 setup, and the next target would be at above $1.06. That would be the third wave, then the fourth wave move down, and the fifth wave move up. And I think Cardano will get rejected at the 0.618 resistance level again, and then we get rejected, we go down to an ABC structure, and then we get back above it, and that's how we break all-time highs. In my opinion, I think that's going to happen. But if it doesn't play out, then I'm going to be, extremely surprised. I mean, the other altcoins and Cardano as well, I mean, they are ready for the altcoin season. Now we're just waiting for Bitcoin dominance to just start dropping, and I do tell you that at some point it will start dropping. I don't know if it's gonna be now or in a couple of weeks, but I mean, we should start dropping extremely soon, and whenever that happens, everybody's going to be surprised, of course, because nobody's expecting Bitcoin dominance to drop right now. Everybody's expecting it to go up, but you have to keep in mind there's a lot of fear in the market right now. I believe the fear and greed index is at extreme fear. It's at 10, which means that right now you should be extremely greedy, and I'm not saying that you should buy right now, but you know, I mean, these support zones are here for a reason. They are here for buying, and I was telling you the exact same thing when we were down here. I was telling you, hey, maybe this right here is actually a good time to buy because we reacted to the support zone and we did not really get another low after this one right here. So maybe this is just the accumulation zone, and what you know, that turned out to be true. I talked about the cross on the bull market support band many times, and yeah, whatever I said, I mean, I did tell you that it's possible to get above the bull market support band, and if we did after the cross, that could be a very bullish thing, and it was a very bullish thing. And I also told you not to, you know, FOMO in when we were up here, because at some point we would need some kind of correction, and that correction just happened. It could be over. I don't know if it is, maybe it's not. If it is, then we should get above the bull market support band. If it's not, we will most likely stay below it. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. I'm expecting Bitcoin to close above the bull market support band on the weekly chart. And I think the weekly chart, I mean, today is like Wednesday, I think, or I don't know what the day is. And yeah, we should be above the bull market support band by Sunday. If we are not, then this could lead to a much bigger drop, but I highly doubt that something like that will happen. But you never know. This is crypto we are talking about. So we'll see if we get, you know, a move back above the bull market support band or if we stay below it. And yeah, that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.